Welcome back to Struggle Security, where we're normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. It's Gabe here, back with another deep dive into the world of cybersecurity. And today, we're visiting the topic that has been on a roller coaster ride. That's TikTok. Just when we thought the saga was over, new developments have emerged. We'll unpack the latest twists and the trends. We'll explore the cybersecurity implications, because that's what we talk about on this channel. And we'll understand how this ties to a broader geopolitical tension discussion between the US and China. Let's get into it. Let's go. Let's start here. To understand where we are now, let's quickly recap the whole timeline. April 2024, President Joe Biden signed legislation requiring ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese parent company, to divest its U.S. operations by January 19, 2025, or face a permanent ban. January 17, 2025, the Supreme Court upheld the law, confirming that the ban would proceed if divestiture did not occur. January 18th, we were all surprised when this happened. TikTok became inaccessible across the US, leaving millions of users in digital limbo. I mean, people had their entire businesses associated with TikTok, generating all types of ad revenue, and people were in shock. A lot of people were, right? Not only the young kids who like to do all the TikTok dances. And now where we are, January 19th, in a surprising turn, President-elect Donald Trump announced plans to issue an executive order granting ByteDance a 90-day extension to find an approved U.S. buyer, leading to the restoration of TikTok services within hours. A lot of people were surprised when that notice or that message came up on TikTok to say, hey, all of our services have been restored thanks to President Trump. Now, these rapid developments have left users and also cybersecurity experts scrambling to understand the implications. But I think that we should take a little step back here. Why was TikTok ever even a part of this conversation? Why was there even an initial conversation about the ban? And I think this starts off with cybersecurity. Like where I mentioned, at the heart of this issue are long-standing cybersecurity concerns. U.S. officials worry that ByteDance could be compelled by the Chinese government to share sensitive information and data to manipulate content, posing a national security risk. I mean, when so many eyes, so much visibility is on a particular app, a lot of times the information that's put before the users can be considered something that has U.S. geopolitical implications to it. These fears aren't unfounded. I mean, in 2023 of March, reports surfaced that ByteDance employees had accessed data of U.S. journalists, leading to investigations by the FBI and the Department of Justice. So while TikTok has consistently denied these allegations, the potential for data misuse remains a significant concern for policymakers. Now let's talk about some of the history there. Like, what has happened previous to this? Why is the U.S., government so on alert about TikTok? A history exists here. This situation is more than just about an app. It's a microcosm of a broader geopolitical struggle between U.S. and China. The U.S. has long accused China of cyber security espionage, citing groups like APT, or Advanced Persistent Threat 1, and Volt Typhoon, which have targeted U.S. critical infrastructure and businesses. The TikTok controversy adds another layer to this complex relationship, highlighting the challenges of technology governance in a globalized world. First, let's talk about APT-1, or Advanced Persistent Threat Number 1, also known as Comment Crew. This was one of the first publicly exposed Chinese advanced persistent threat groups. Back in 2013, a report from Mandiant revealed that APT-1 was a unit of the Chinese military. They were behind years of cyber espionage, stealing intellectual property from U.S. companies in industries like defense, aerospace, and even energy. Fast forward to today, and we have Volt Typhoon, right? This is a newer, but even more stealthier group attributed to China and the Chinese government. They specialize in infiltrating U.S. critical infrastructure like power grids, telecommunications, and water systems. Microsoft and the U.S. agencies have confirmed that Volt Typhoon focuses on long-term access and espionage, not like a smash and grab type of operation. It's a reminder that China is playing the long-term game in the cyberspace. And speaking of recent events, do you all remember or have heard of anything that came from the government, right, that had spoke about malware that was discovered on U.S. infrastructure just a few months back, right? This is 2024. It was attributed to China. right? Chinese threat actors and had the potential to disrupt key facilities. There were devices that were being sold that had malware already installed on it so that as soon as, US users of this device plugged it into any of their digital assets, that malware was released. So fortunately, it was neutralized by the FBI or government agencies, but it shows just how serious the stakes are. The U.S. government's actions reflect a cautious approach to foreign-owned technologies that could influence public opinion or compromise data security. I mean, this isn't new. This has happened with other organizations like Kaspersky. I don't know if you all remember Kaspersky. It was like an antivirus or cybersecurity company. They had a type of software that was on government, and really a lot of times it was used within the nuclear industry. That's what I remember. But there was actually a ban because that particular software, Kaspersky, had backdoors or was suspected to have backdoors so that the Russian government or Russian entities could infiltrate these environments where it was installed. So this isn't just something new. The TikTok saga serves as a case study in the complexities of digital geopolitics, where technology, security, and diplomacy intersect in unprecedented ways. So what's next? What's next for TikTok? Well, with the 90-day extension in place, ByteDance now has until April 19, 2025 to secure a deal with the US-based entity. Potential buyers have been speculated, including tech giants and investment firms, but no official announcements have been made. The outcome will significantly impact not only TikTok's 170 million US users, but also the broader tech industry, setting precedents for how foreign-owned applications are treated in the future. As negotiations proceed, stakeholders will need to address not only ownership structures, but also data governance practices to ensure compliance with U.S. regulations and cyber standards. Regardless of the outcome, the TikTok case will likely influence the future of policy decisions regarding foreign technologies companies operating in the U.S. And I think that, rightfully so. This world is becoming more and more digital, and the cyber space is increasing. So where there's tensions with foreign entities, I think that, applications and software that's used between, foreign adversaries needs to be considered and addressed from a cybersecurity perspective. I mean, I worked heavily as an incident responder in some cases with some past roles, and a lot of times we did get foreign threat actors that had affected a lot of our infrastructure. So this definitely needs to be considered. And I'm happy that the TikTok situation is forcing this to the forefront of the discussions. So in closing, the TikTok saga is a vivid example of how cybersecurity, geopolitics, and technology collide in our modern world. This isn't just about one application. It's about national security, privacy, and the future of how we interact with global technologies. So where do you stand? Is TikTok just an app for you where kids are doing all these dances and doing all these beeps? Or is it a legitimate cybersecurity concern? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts, and we can continue the discussion about, hey, where do you stand on TikTok and what are the cybersecurity implications of it? Also, before you leave, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the Struggle Security YouTube channel, and share this video with anyone curious about what's really going on behind the headlines. And as always, Struggle Security. This is where we're normalizing struggling in cybersecurity, and hopefully this has alleviated one of your struggles of understanding about the whole TikTok saga that's going on. More is definitely going to come out. I'm sure there's going to be so much more coming out, but hopefully you've enjoyed the video. And like I said, like, subscribe, and come back for more of this type of content.